I'm Christy Wright. I'm an author and business coach, and I would love to help you with any aspect of your business. Maybe it's a side business. Maybe it's a small business. Maybe you're growing a really big business. You know, you may need help with marketing or getting your plan together, taxes, whatever it is. Another question here from Taylor. Taylor, what's your question for me?
Hi there. So I am an event director at the moment, but I'm looking into kind of starting my own business. I'm also in baby step 2, and I kind of brought up to my aunt, who's also an event director, and she wants to go into business with me. Something that we had talked about, though, is purchasing a venue to house those events. And again, I'm in baby step 2, so I don't want to take out debt because I know everything in my body tells me not to do it, but at the same time, I know that we could have a lot of return on investment if we were to have an event space to house those things. So I'm just kind of wanting your input.
Yeah, absolutely. So Taylor, two parts to this I want to speak to. There's the one part of purchasing the building when you're in baby step number 2, and then there's the second part of going into business with your aunt, which I know you didn't ask about, but I'm just going to go ahead and speak to while we're on the call. The first part about the building, it's very easy when we have really big dreams to only see that dream as the next step. But in fact, there's 1,000 baby steps between here and there. And so what I want to encourage you to do is to look at a way where you can sublease space, rent space, baby step your way into owning your own venue. Certainly that's a great dream to get to, but you're in baby step number 2. And that venue is additional risk and overhead and cost when the idea hasn't proven itself. This is a baby business, and you don't want to put that pressure on yourself or your business from the get-go, especially when you're in baby step number 2 and you don't really have the investment to make into it. So instead, I would encourage you to look at ways where you could sublease space, maybe bring leads to a business where you direct events at a certain venue, but they own the venue, but you guys work together on that in the interim until you get out of baby step number 2 and you're able to save up and pay cash for a building. I'll give you a great example. My friend Jake Vale of Jake's Bakes, he started his cookie business from home. And then when he was ready to go to retail space, he knew he didn't have the money or even the viability in his business to get a large lease at a commercial space. So instead, he subleased space from a commercial kitchen during their off hours. So they worked in the commercial kitchen from, I think it was like 8 to 5, and they left at the end of the day at 5 o'clock. Well, Jake, he was starting out, so he was being scrappy. He started at 5 p.m. when they closed up, and he worked until midnight. And those are his hours, and he subleased this commercial kitchen. He didn't have any of the risk, any of the commitment, any of the overhead, any of the cost while he built up the business. And then when the business was ready, about a year later, he got his own commercial space, was ready for that larger lease, the larger commitment, that type of thing. So I would just encourage you, Taylor, to baby step your way into it, to look at a way to sublease or rent or partner with an existing venue, to build up the business and get yourself known in that space as an expert, as an authority, as the go-to source for event planning. And then when you're ready, purchase your own building. The only other thing I would say about this, Taylor, in terms of going into business with your aunt, is I would find a way to do business with your aunt rather than going into business legally with your aunt in terms of partnership. There are not a lot of tax benefits to partnership, but it can put an incredible strain on the relationship if you guys disagree on decisions or the direction of the business. So if you have a dream, Taylor, do it. Do whatever you have in your heart to do. Chase that dream and find a way to work with your aunt without going into business with your aunt. That would be my advice to you, but I hope that helps to baby step your way into it and then it doesn't feel so overwhelming.